Christopher Acosta. All right.
Good morning again, Judge.
Good morning. So I have the discovery acknowledgement. An offer has been tendered.
It has, Judge. We're not quite where we would like the state to be. My client has been having seizures and
Okay.
is going to see a neurologist. He just had a seizure, what was it, last week?
Yes.
Again, and so we're trying to get some medical records about that sort of stuff and figure out, most importantly, how they can treat him, because it's just kind of a recent onset. So we're trying to figure that stuff out. Yeah.
All right. When is your doctor's appointment?
I have a neurologist on Thursday.
All right. So Norma, on Christopher Acosta, if you'll put this towards the end of the month for a plea deadline date.
Sounds good, Judge. Thank you.
Sure. All right. October 30th, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a situation today. Judge,
All right.
Hi.
there's an unindicted DWI third out of the same incident that we still don't have the blood draw results on or anything. And so we're kind of in limbo on that.
Oh, I can take you all out of limbo.
I've sent an email off to, a second email actually to, intake attorney.
All right. What is going to be the controlling case though?
Well, unfortunately, he's a habitual in all of them.
Okay.
So
what happened with the neuro appointment?
he's been going, Judge, he's had 5 seizures since May, and he's had a number of neurologist appointments. You have another one coming up
Friday.
this coming Friday. I have a feeling what's going to end up, and I was talking to him about this because I have some knowledge of this with family members. They're probably going to have to hook him up to one of those head things and where they watch him on camera for 48 hours, like they have to stay in bed sort of thing. Because when he's at the doctor, his brainwaves seem okay, but then he's been taking the ER several times. He's had 5 different seizures. So something's not right.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, can you reset this for December? All right. We're coming back on December 14th.
Okay.
And on December 14th, that's your last plea deadline date.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Johnny Limon, Costa. Hello.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good. You?
Oh, I cannot complain. It's a beautiful day.
That's good.
The weather is great.
Right?
It was cold.
No, it was not cold.
Walking over here, it was cold. I should have worn a jacket.
Was it cold? Yeah. Am I having hot flashes? I don't know. It didn't seem that. Oh, it's not cold in here. No, we're not doing that.
You wearing socks?
You all say that, and then when it's summertime and they have it 90 degrees in here.
No, that's Miguel's
Yeah.
court downstairs.
Well, let me just tell you, we've been complaining about the temperature in here for over a year. We complained in the other court. So I think they're trying to freeze us out, but we're not going to say anything. All right. So today is plea deadline date. So where are we?
Judge, they've extended a plea bargain to us that at this time my client is unable to take. I will just inform the court, and I think I've told you in the past, my client's been having some medical issues with seizures. He's had 3 more in the last week. I just, out in the hallway a few minutes ago, Christopher let me talk to the office manager of his doctor's office, and I told them what I would like in terms of getting medical records and things. I'm going to try to get those. It sounds like next week he's got another appointment with them, and I'll turn them over to the DA's office and see if that can maybe change things a little bit.
All right. So I'm going to extend this plea deadline date one more time. I'll put it in the new year,
Thank
and
you.
that's where we are.
I appreciate it, Judge. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Ms. Ferguson, can I get a date? Probably like the second. Because my thing is doctors' offices, usually they start shutting down and they say they're going to get paperwork, which I love doctors,
Yeah.
but sometimes they're not. Can we put this like maybe the 4th week in January?
Complicated. The doctor that he had been seeing in September and October and stuff has recently retired from the practice. So it's a new doctor that he's going to be seeing next week. So I asked them, I said, can you have the new doctor do a history and just write a letter saying what's wrong, what they're diagnosing him with, what the treatments are, all that sort of stuff.
All right. So we'll put it at the 4th week of January.
Thank you, Judge, very much. I appreciate it.
All right. January 25th.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else?
That's it, man. Thank you.
All right. Just sign the reset for me. You're all excused.
Thanks.
All right, where are we on the medical information?
So he had COVIDs between the last court setting and now. He missed his appointment with his neurologist. He has another appointment being scheduled as of this morning. What were they telling you?
And you go, Tuesday next week.
All right, so let me ask you all this. What is the end game for this case? That's what I need to know.
Sure. The end game is trying to work out a situation where he does not go to the penitentiary.
All right, and state,
Yes, Your Honor.
where are you on the defense's end game?
They want him to go to the penitentiary.
We have, understands that, yes, Your Honor. That's.
Okay, so the offer has been tendered,
Yes, ma'am.
and is his medical issue, I'm sure you're aware of the medical issue, is that going to change anything with you all?
I don't believe that it would with us, Judge. I think it might if we did, depending on the offer that I think you wanted, that might be something the court might be interested in.
I'm an optimist and I think that the medical information might be beneficial and might change their offer. My client is suffering from seizures on a weekly basis, sometimes 2 or 3 a week. In the shower, at home, wherever he just is having these seizures. It's been a very debilitating thing for him. And he's been suffering from this basically since last fall.
Yeah. In a year.
So
All right. We're going to come back on February 22nd. That will be the last plea deadline date. After that, it's going to trial.
sure. Thank you, Judge.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
it.
And I will give you the reset form. Once you all have signed it, then you are excused.
You're the new Norma.
Yeah, yes, she is out with medical issues.
Oh, poor girl.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Court is calling 2024 CR 1657, State of Texas versus Christopher Acosta. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Megan Enriquez, present for John Hewens for Christopher Acosta.
And I'm assuming he's only pleading to one case?
That's correct.
Right. Are you Christopher Acosta?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, you received all the discovery. Did you review it with your client?
We did, Your Honor, and we have reviewed it.
All right, court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Acosta, do you have any objection to this attorney standing in for Mr. Kuntz?
No, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it? Showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? You're proceeding on one of the enhancements, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Proceeding on the second enhancement.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated third or more? Normally, that's a third-degree felony. However, the enhancement allegation is proven to be true, then your range of punishment will be anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Costa, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, you would agree that you've been previously convicted of one or more felonies for enhancement Punishments to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State opposes your application. They're taking in consideration 2023 CR 4342, and there's to be restitution to SAPD for blood and drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, sir.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
And to the enhancement in paragraph 2 of the indictment, how do you plead? True or not true?
Truth.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection.
All right, you can continue to confer. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right. So, state and defense. The court has in the stips, the judgments from paragraph 1, not from paragraph 2.
It should be behind that, Joe.
No. The other one is 4-8 unless in the indictment, it's incorrect. So I don't have 2014 3050. Yes.
Okay, they have the, let me check on that, Judge. That's what they were.
3050.
305.
But there is the one that ends in W in there.
That's what probably what we'll do, Judge.
All right. So then the state, are you proceeding on paragraph 1 of the enhancement instead of paragraph 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And defense, do you have any objection to that?
No, as long as
Correct.
the other one is being waived and
Yes. So how do you plead to paragraph 1 of the enhancement? True or not true?
True.
All right. All right. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. The court will find the enhancement true based upon your plea of true and based upon State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. Is it 6 weeks for? All right. So I'm going to get a setting for you. We'll come back in 6 to 8 weeks. And at that time, I'll make a decision on your application based upon the PSI report, the TAP evaluation, and any other evidence that's submitted.
Okay.
Your Honor, I don't know what the timing is, but he has a doctor's appointment on April 10th. Can it be after that date of April 10th?
Sure. All right, we can put it for April 11th. Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Before you leave, you'll need to sign the reset form and speak with probation.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 1657, State of Texas versus Christopher Acosta. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Jerry, Your Honor.
Defense?
John Coons for Mr. Acosta.
And are you Mr. Acosta?
Yes, ma'am.
We're here for sentencing today. You entered a plea of guilty to count. I'm sorry, guilty. And also true to the paragraph 1 of the enhancement. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court found you guilty and found the enhancement true. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. The state is opposed to your application, and they're taking in consideration 2023 CR 4342. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state? Defense?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No,
All right. Any witnesses, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
just my client.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
Mr. Paul Costa,
All right, defense?
Thank you. Chris, how old are you?
35,
And how many children do you have?
2.
Are you close to them?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
How old are they?
12 and 15.
Do you don't have a formalized child support arrangement, is that correct?
No, sir.
But you give approximately $700 a month?
Yes. Oh, like every week, pretty much.
But you're not getting 700 a week,
No, pretty much like in a month. Or whenever they ask me for money, I try to help them wherever they can.
but you told me it's approximately
Yeah,
150.
about 150 a week.
I need you to wait for me to finish,
Okay.
because this lady's taking everything down, so we can't talk at the same time. So approximately 150 to 200 a week?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
And then you also are living with your mother right now, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Does your mother have health problems?
Yes, sir.
What sort of health problems does she have?
She had like heart conditions, high blood pressure, all kinds of stuff. She goes to the doctor a lot.
Are you the one that takes her to the doctor?
Yes, sir.
And is that at least twice a month?
Yes, sir.
And in the PSI, there's some mention that you have some brothers that maybe live there sometimes, but they're not currently taking care of your mom, are they?
No, sir.
And in fact, they're not living with her currently.
No, sir.
Now, you also have a girlfriend.
Yes.
What's her name?
Jennifer Lyons.
And Jennifer has been coming to court every time, correct?
Yes.
But
Yes.
where is she today?
She's at work.
Where does she work?
She's a dental assistant.
And she's had that job for several years.
4.5 years now.
Now, she's obviously very supportive of you, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And every single time I've ever seen you in court, she's here with you, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
But unfortunately, she couldn't be here today.
Not today. It was your last week.
Now, you work as well?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I do HVAC and I cut hair.
HVAC and cut hair. So I want to talk about the HVAC work in particular because you also have some health problems of your own, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's something that we've informed the court of in the past with regard to these seizures you've been having.
Yes, sir.
And you finally were diagnosed with epilepsy, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a seizure today,
Yes, sir.
this morning?
Yes, sir.
And you have these seizures how often?
Pretty much every day.
And you've been seeing a neurologist
Yes, sir.
and they've prescribed you medication.
Several. Yes, sir.
Has it been helping at all?
Sometimes, but that they don't. They're still trying to pinpoint like I won't have like no seizures at all. But they're trying several medications still.
And I'll explain to the court a little bit about the epilepsy if the court's unfamiliar, but that's very scary, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Having these seizures.
Yes.
Sometimes it happens in the shower
That's where that's where it first started.
and you'll collapse to the ground sort of thing, right?
Yes, sir.
And have you hit your head?
Yes, sir.
Now, with regard to doing HVAC, you're not getting up in attics, are you?
No, sir.
Oh, especially not with your health condition.
Yes, sir.
You're doing everything
On ground level.
at ground level, okay. And you work for a friend or a relative?
This is me and a buddy. We're starting our own HVAC company.
And is that full time?
Yes.
So you're working at least 5 days a week, and I would imagine this summer is going to be good business for you guys.
Yes. It's starting to pick up.
Now, Chris, we have to address the elephant in the room, which is your past, your criminal history. And as you know, it's sometimes difficult for judges to consider putting someone on probation who's been in trouble in the past, right?
Yes.
How old were you when you first got arrested? Back in 2007, I think? So 17 years ago, how old were you? 17, 18? All right.
19.
And when you went to prison back in 2016, I'm sorry. So that was 8 years ago. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You haven't been to prison since then, correct?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, you hadn't been in trouble in several years, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Until this most recent arrest.
Yes, sir.
Was this a wake-up call for you?
Yes, sir.
I've discussed with you the pre-sentence investigation and how they are recommending that you get treatment. Do you understand that?
That's right.
And you can understand looking at your criminal history, which is mainly drug related.
Yes.
where a judge would say, hey, maybe Mr. Acosta needs some sort of drug treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you willing to take drug treatment as a condition of probation?
Yes, sir.
The only concern for you, of course, is that you need to continue getting treatment for your epilepsy. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So would it be fair to say that we're asking the judge to consider your application for probation and consider placing you in outpatient treatment first, see how you do that in that? And then if you slip up there, then you would be more than willing to go to inpatient?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you can abide by the rules of the court?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that you can stay clean from drugs and alcohol?
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the judge about your situation or your family or anything? Are you sorry to be here?
Yes.
Are you embarrassed to be here?
Yes, sir.
Has this been hard on your family?
Yes, sir.
Is this causing your children a lot of stress?
Yes, sir.
Just-
I'm not having.
Your mom
Yes, sir.
and your girlfriend,
Yes, sir.
right? She's very stressed out every time you guys are here. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
But everyone is supporting you. They're helping you get the medical treatment you need and things like that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Judge, I have nothing further for my client. The prosecutor may ask you some questions.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Sir, when you were stopped by this DWI, you had controlled substance on you, is that correct?
Yes, that's what they say. I don't remember. That's what they say, yeah.
Well, you had 11 bags of cocaine.
Yeah, well, I don't recall.
Okay, well, I mean, to be fair, that's what the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then also 2 bags of heroin,
Yeah.
and also like 5 Adderall.
Yeah, it's good.
Was that for personal use?
The Adderall, I don't remember how I got the Adderall. I mean, there was a day I was partying and stuff, like it was during the Super Bowl, so I really don't remember much. I just remember the cops waking me up and they pulled out whatever, I guess. And I mean, really pretty much I woke up in the cop car.
I mean, I'm just saying 11 bags of cocaine and 2 bags of heroin and 5 Adderall, this seems like quite a bit of drugs you're carrying on.
Yes, I understand that.
And then also with your previous convictions and of your felonies, you did get offered and you did take deferred adjudication or probation on those, and then you weren't able to successfully complete those. Is that right?
Years ago? Yeah.
And then also as late as in 2016, that's when you got your conviction. You were actually on probation for 1 to 4 grams, and then you were sentenced in 2016 because you picked up another 4 to 200 grams. So you aware of that?
No, it was on probation.
Okay, you weren't on probation at all, so you took 5 years. Okay. No further questions, John.
All right, any follow-up?
No further questions. Just argument.
All right, court will hear argument.
I'll go ahead and go first.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe you want to go last. Judge, I mean, just moving his criminal past, and if this was initial, the state did waive that enhancement to allow him to apply and substantially lower the amount of time that he would be facing if he was facing the habitual status. So as low as that, Your Honor, including the DWI, including with the possession of drugs at that time, state's request continued TBC.
Thank you, Judge. We understand how difficult the situation that Chris put himself in back a couple of years ago. This was not a wise move on his part, but when I see his criminal history and I see the facts of this offense, I see someone that is struggling with a substance issue or substance issues. In talking to his girlfriend, she has told me the same, that she feels like he could use some treatment. You know, we're dealing with a 35-year-old man here, Judge. Yes, he's a grown man, he's an adult, but he's been in and out of the system since he was a teenager. And when you look at that history, it doesn't look like he was ever given the opportunity for treatment as far as I can see. And at this stage in his life, he does want treatment. He wants to better himself. He wants to get his business off the ground. He wants to continue taking care of his children and paying for them the way he's supposed to. This is sending him to prison is the natural instinct, I'm sure, for a court. But in this circumstance, we would ask that you consider placing him on probation and giving him the treatment that he needs. I have a personal concern with the epilepsy. As someone who has an epileptic in my family, I know how serious this is. And I lost an uncle who collapsed and fell and hit his head in his own kitchen and died. So My concern is that if he goes off to the jail and then to the prison, that he won't get any sort of medical treatment that is necessary. And one of the things that's interesting about epilepsy is that your body is continuously adjusting to the medication. So what works today might not work 6 months from now or 3 months from now even. And you really have to be on top of it with a neurologist who has to monitor you constantly to make sure that the medications that you're on are the appropriate ones and are helping you. He has been doing better. The seizures are not as severe as they were, say, 6 months ago when we first informed the court of this issue. But he still is having them. It feels like his doctors are slowly narrowing down. But one of the issues is he doesn't have health care, so he has to pay out of pocket. And neurologist visits are very expensive. But he is able to do it when he can. Again, my fear personally is that he gets to the jail, he gets to the prison, and as we know, the medical treatment in either of those facilities is not the best in the world. So based on all that you have in front of you, Judge, we would ask that you give him that chance on probation. Let him try to prove to you that he's not the person he was in the past, that he will not have violations in front of you any further, and that he can be the person that he should be.
All right, Mr. Costa, I want to let you know that I've listened to the arguments of your attorney, internalized everything. I understand people have medical issues, and I understand that sometimes if people look back over their life, if they could do things differently, they would do things differently. I just don't think you're a good candidate for probation, so I'm not going to grant your application. As previously stated, I'm finding you guilty. Does anyone want to speak in regards to the cap? It's a cap of 10.
They've asked for 10. I would obviously ask for the minimum 2, Judge. I think that would be, the least amount of time that he's away from his family, away from his mother, away from his children, and away from his doctors too, would be much appreciated.
All right, this is what the court will do. Court is taking in consideration 2023 CR 4342. There's a $1,500 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. Court will give you credit for any time served. There's to be a 2-year license suspension. I'll request the therapeutic community for you, but I have no control on whether or not they place you in the therapeutic community. You'll have to ask for it also, but they'll see it in the judgment that I am requesting the therapeutic community. And I'll sentence you to 8 years in the prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Let's get the facts straight. She loves a verbal ashtray. Never blowing smoke when she gets pissed. She's quick to castrate. Love her on a good day, love her on a bad day. Either way, she's here to stay, stay, stay.